Hello, so today I'm doing a little video, or I guess blog, or whatever you want to call it, on 5 tips or 5 pieces of practical advice that I can give anyone who wants to either start out as a composer in film media, TV, video games, anything like that, or maybe someone who's maybe got a bit stuck in a groove and they don't know where to go. These are practical tips. This is not a motivational video. This is not just me going, work hard and the rewards will come. No, these are actual things that you can go away and actually do and see results. It may take time, but I can promise you that you will. At least one of these 5 things is something you might not have tried and something that can truly actually help you. And so without further ado, let's get into number 5. So point number 5 is, I guess, all that tech. You don't need the latest and greatest technology. Seriously, I started out with an off-the-shelf MacBook Pro, little 13-inch with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. There wasn't much to it at all, and I did my first TV project on that thing. And so seriously, you don't need the greatest and best, especially when you're starting out. And I know back then we didn't have all these things, but there's so many free sample libraries available that's not just in your DAW. You've got Spitfire's Labs, you've got Sign Factory, you've got Piano Book. All these great things weren't around when I started out. They're there now to be used. And there's some really good free samples out there, so you don't need to break the bank. You can use an old PC. All you really need is a decent set of headphones for maybe, I don't know, 60, 70 quid. I'll put some recommendations down in the comments. An off-the-shelf laptop, doesn't have to be very good, and a DAW of your choice, some free samples, and then have at it. If you were to get any other tech, I'd recommend a CC controller, something like the KORG Mini something. I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. And then the KORG keys as well, which is a little piano, great for inputting bits and bobs. So you don't need a lot. What's funny actually is you see them in a lot of high up, big, expensive studios. You don't need speakers, especially if you haven't treated your room properly. Don't worry about that. So in regards to tech, ultimately use what you have and get creative. I know, what is it, like Billie Eilish? Started off on a laptop in a room with a little microphone. You know, this day and age, you really don't need the greatest tools and equipment. You need a clever mind, a creative mind with the will to create. And that's point number 5. Tip number 4 is sell your music. You shouldn't have to pay money to sell your music either. And there are some great places where I started out selling my music. Number 1 is Unity Asset Store. Number 2 is Unreal Marketplace. That's probably where I've seen one of the most success. Tribe of Noise as well. They are great, and you can post individual tracks on them. Unity and Unreal Engine, you probably want to package a little album of tracks that you sell on there. And I can make videos if you guys want. Put a comment down below and I will make videos on how to actually publish your music on there and sell it, and kind of the ways I found that work. So those are 3 places. Another one, Pond 5. I hadn't found much success on there, but it's free to put your music on there, so why not try it? Where else have I found useful? Those are kind of the top ones, the top free ones. Of course, never do work for free. Maybe you're at university or have friends that create film, or anyone who asks for music or knows that you're a composer and hey, wants a track for this, that or the other. Never work for free, even if it's for a $5 or a $10 or just something smaller that might seem minute to the other person or yourself, but it's a start, it's something for your time and for your work. So never sell yourself short. This is something you've created, it's your little baby. Make sure you get your money's worth and start off small and eventually it will grow into something better. But there's so many places out there which charge you to publish your music, and especially in the beginning I feel that's wrong, that you have to pay to be paid. And so those places, try them out. They work for me, and as I said, if you want to know how to do it, let me know down below and I'll make a video on it. So that's number 4. Tip number 3, be diverse. So don't just compose orchestral music, try and compose as many styles as possible. There's some great tools out there that can help you. Did a recent video on a piece of software called Arcade by Output. That's really helped me diversify my music and get into different styles. So try them out. I know there's like a free 1-month trial on that if you are struggling to diversify your music. Other ways as well of diversifying yourself, don't just get stuck on maybe composing music, maybe try and get into audio engineering or mixing live sound. If you're at, again, a university, or if you maybe have a local musical theatre group, maybe see if they are looking for someone to help out with the sound and get into that sort of thing. Or maybe universities have film societies. Of course they might need music, offer there, but you could also help out with the audio. Try recording things, try making videos, photography, other bits within that area. Diversify your talents, don't just stick to one little small area. Try multiple things around it, within it, creating content, and you'll find that you'll be more employable. You find that you might actually enjoy other things, and you might find you'll be able to plug your music in there as well. Maybe try doing a qualification as well. You don't have to, they can be handy. You'll definitely meet a diverse amount of people. But as I say, I did a pure music degree and that didn't really help me too much. It helped me start, but it definitely didn't help me get into the industry I've gotten myself into now. But trying different things and new things has definitely gotten me to where I am now, and you'll find out more about that in, I think, point number 1, specifically about the videography and photography. And so let's go on to point number 2. Similar to point number 3, point number 2 is networking. Get out there, it's so important. It's how I got my first gigs for TV, was actually getting out there, and it was getting in touch with actually a university student. It was when I was at university. You don't have to be a university student to do this, but I sent hundreds and hundreds of emails to different universities explaining I'm a wannabe film and media composer. I sent a link to my SoundCloud, because it's free to upload your demos on there, and said, hey, I will compose music for your students for free, or maybe a small fee, £5, £10, if there is a budget available. Most of the time there wasn't a budget available, but now and then I did get a nice little tip, I guess, from the students I did compose music for. And as I said, I contacted hundreds of universities. I did a whole video on this. I'll leave a link down in the description, because there's kind of a whole process. You put an email together and you kind of have to hunt the internet for lecturers that teach film, and kind of email them and say, hey, can I compose music for your students? 1 in 50 reply. Don't be disheartened if nobody replies. As I said, I think I sent hundreds and maybe only really a handful replied. But then again, do you really want all 100 to actually reply? I guess it'd be great, but you'll be inundated with work. I think the first year I did this, I had 9 different projects. At the same time, I was doing my second year at university, so it was difficult, but I definitely had a diverse amount of people, especially if you're doing it for free. Don't forget to actually stand up for yourself and know when enough is enough. But it definitely gets you the experience, it definitely gets you getting to meet other people, and who knows, you might be fortunate enough to meet somebody who then moves on to actually a career as a videographer, as an editor, as a producer, and they might drag you up with them. And that's exactly how I got my first gig creating music for a broadcast on BT Sport. It was Barcelona 51, and that was because of a student that I helped compose all his music for his university projects, and he dragged me up, and I'm very grateful for him. And I'm glad I sent those hundreds of emails and got those very minute amount of replies, because without that I would not be where I am today. So network, network, network. If you're at uni, as I said on the previous point, there are film societies, compose music for them. Get to know your other students as well. Start a business with them, who knows? It might go somewhere. And so be friendly, meet lots of people, get out there and try new things. And so network, 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 it's so important in this industry. And my final tip and my top tip is be prepared to work hard. I know you're going to be thinking, well, that's not really practical advice, but in all honesty, I've been composing for film and media for 5 years. I have a degree and masters in music, and I currently only make about 1/3 of my income off of music and the things I want to do. I have a part-time job where I work 30 hours nights in a call center. I have a family, I have a little baby boy. I write music, and kind of wrapping everything together through networking and getting with my peers. I started a small business with my friend, started a little company called SDG, and in that company I do a lot of videography and photography, which is what allows me to really have this sort of setup, this camera, and how I learned how to use these cameras and stuff. And what kind of got me started into YouTube is that middle ground where I get to do a little bit of videography and photography, which I love, as well as work on audio and music. And so between the business I started with my friend, the production company, SDG Productions, as well as my music, as well as my part-time job and family, and I'm a churchgoer as well, I'm pretty busy there. So it's hard work, I have a lot on my plate, and so prepared to work hard because it's not easy and it's a process. So that's it, that's my top 5 pieces of practical advice. I hope they've helped. Some more practical than others. I know that last one was a bit wet, but just to really let you know what you're getting yourself into, because I wish overnight it was a flick of a switch and you could, 100% do exactly what you want to do and what you love. But sadly, for most of us, it's a journey, it's a process. It's, the odd person might get that miraculous miracle and get the job they love. But for most of us, it's a process, and it's something we have to work on a day at a time. And so I hope these have helped. If you want me to expand upon anything, especially where to actually sell music and how to do that on those specific sites, let me know. But that's everything. I hope you've enjoyed my shoddy editing, and it's been a bit of fun, something different for me. But I'll see you in the next video.